Hello, Internet. It is still morning yet, so good morning. It is another absolutely beautiful day out here in northern Wyoming. I'll just give you a look. So, anyways, there's this thing going around, I think it's in South Carolina, of the petition to take down the Confederate flag. No, leave the flag up. You people just don't learn, do you? You just don't learn. George Santayana, he said, those that do not learn from the mistakes of the past are condemned to relive it. Now, the Confederate flag, the red, white, and blue, is not only symbolic of the South, but it is also a remembrance of all these stupid mistakes that we here in America have made. First of all, it was partially about slavery. The North wanted slaves and the South didn't want slaves. And after the Confederate War, the Civil War, it's also known as the Confederate War, the South let go their slaves, but the North wanted to hold on to it. Okay? This is selfishness. I don't care whether you agree with this or not. Okay? Now, I looked this up. Now what lessons have we learned from the Civil War? Okay? And that's what this flag is all about, the Confederate flag. That's what it's all about. It's about, one, racism. Two, it's about money. Okay? The money, the states didn't have a central one currency. Okay, you moved from South Carolina to Tennessee, you had to change currency because you had different money. And then you left Tennessee, you went to Alabama, well, you had to change currency again because they didn't have the same currency. The same with Texas and Florida and North Carolina and Virginia, right on up, into Boston and Maine. They didn't have the same money, okay? So that was one of the things that was fought about, was money. Now, it pitted brother against brother and sister against sister and father against son, and it was an absolute travesty. It was a tragedy that families would be pitted one against another about some really stupid stuff. Now, slavery is not something stupid, okay? It is something very important, and it is something that should not be allowed, okay? Now, yes, in the Bible, slavery was commonplace, okay? But it was not in the same context that we know it as today. The slavery that we know of Americans owning African slaves, and many of them didn't even come from Africa. They came from Haiti. They came from the Caribbean islands, and places like that. So, but in the biblical days, slavery was something that was very commonplace, and it was when you owed somebody money, you worked for them until you paid off what you owed, and then you were set free. Now, there was a time that was called Jubilee, where if you were a slave for 50 years and it was the time of Jubilee, you were set free, your debts were forgiven, and that was it. And, you know, but there's no record of Jubilee actually happening in the Bible in the Old Testament. Now, as far as the Confederate flag goes, it's a reminder. It's a reminder of the past and the lessons that we should be learning from it. So no, I don't think that we should take down any Confederate flag. I don't think that anybody should be prosecuted or harassed over the Confederate flag. If somebody's flying the Confederate flag, they're trying to remind you of the mistakes made and to remember them. Alright? Y'all like the video? Best thing you do is share it. And if you're not a follower, go ahead and click on subscribe. Alright? Jay Burton out. Talk to y'all later.